And it's Ken Kreitzer for Sons American Legion Radio. We're at West Point and have a chance to visit with Army Assistant Coach Mike Viti. And Mike, good to see you. How was practice today?
It was really solid. I think the guys had a great week of practice. I think they understand the importance of this week's game for sure, and just the importance to play our best football of the year this coming Saturday.
I just got to ask you about two of your proteges. You talked to Connor Slomka and Santa McCoy. Both have had excellent years. Just tell us a little bit about some of the fullbacks that you coach.
Yeah, so starting off with Connor, just a kid who has grown up in the system, does everything right, represents everything we want in an Army football player, tough guy, really mature, executes his fundamentals to a T, and is a great guy for the younger group to look up to, and just a role model through and through on what we expect an Army football player to be. And then Sandin, you've really seen him take the next step as a leader and as a player all season. Always those two always playing in tandem, sharing reps throughout the game, but understanding the importance of their role respectively and what we expect from them play in and play out. So Santa's done a great job of bringing an edge to our offense, playing violent, really without the football, one of the best guys in the program without the football, and evolving as a runner to add that dynamic to his game.
Very good. And Monday, very exciting announcement for everybody in the Army football community that you're going to receive an award this year from the Football Writers Association of America and Lockheed Martin, the Armed Forces Merit Award. Just tell us a little bit about what it was like to receive that news beyond the conference call Monday.
Just what an honor. What an honor to be recognized amongst, an unbelievable group. Really programs who have had a major impact in college football, who have served their country and continue to do things outside the realm of just their day in and day out job. So humbled and received that award with great grace and humility, but also recognizing that award is really a product of your environment and the opportunities you've been afforded. So for me, accepting that on behalf of an institution that helped raise me into an officer and then a football program that I really find as my bedrock and foundation as a leader. So just taking those values and passing them along to the next generation, guys like Connor and Sandin and Rashad, on a week like branch night or a week like branch week for these guys where they receive what they're going to be doing long term is really, really important. Just really humbled by it, but also feel a sense of responsibility to do more moving forward and to be better.
Well, at Trez, we had a chance to be at branch night last night and see all the Army seniors open the envelope with their branch assignments. Very exciting evening. Now, one of the things that you did that generated a lot of attention for the veterans community was a walk across the country. I believe that was in 2014. And you walked from Washington State through California, across the Southwest, Texas, the Southeast, all the way up to Maryland for the Army-Navy game. What was the idea behind starting that walk across the country to bring attention to veterans?
I think it started with my service and seeing the impact not only on service people but their families and those who paid the ultimate sacrifice, our nation's Gold Star families, and seeing them a little bit of a gap from the American public to the servicemen and women who've done that, and specifically their families. That was an important mission, from the why behind it. And then I think the hike itself was just the vehicle to grab attention, but then also to meet those Gold Star families along the way, and say as a grateful American, we appreciate what they've given up for us, and just letting them know that we would be there in any capacity we can be, and then rally more Americans around the table to have those conversations and look to support them moving forward.
Well, what a great effort. I think about what it must have been like to go through the mountains and across the desert in California and Arizona and getting through that. Tell us a little bit about, if you would, transition. We talked to a lot of veterans about transitioning from the military to civilian life at different levels, different times of their life. What was it like for you and for some of the people that you served with?
I think those experiences that you have while having the opportunity to serve shape you, and they don't necessarily, that's not your finish line, your service. I think you're going to be a lifelong leader and a lifelong servant leader. those were experiences and lessons that you knew you would take, to other places, whether it be corporate America, collegiate athletics, whether it was opportunities in continuing to serve, our military families. So, those experiences as an officer, those experiences at West Point, I think shape you to an extent, but then you feel like you have a bit of knowledge to pass along to the next generation or other gaps that you might see as a leader.
Very good. Well, you've done some tremendous work for the veterans community and what you did in the walk across the country and with Gold Star families. What do you see as the way the needs of veterans can be best addressed in terms of health care, advancing education? There's a lot of needs of veterans that we hear about every day.
I think just recognizing that there will be needs following service, that, serving your country, whether it be, in combat or during a time of war, will greatly strain you and, take things that a little bit from you through your service as you give so much that there's going to be a back end that doesn't just, when your service finishes, that's not going to be the end of it. So just having those mechanisms in place and those programs in place that help those that really are in need. And, there's different needs from following service. Some of it's, the obvious physical needs and healthcare needs, but some of it's the mental health and the emotional support and just those social networks and having as many programs in place that there's a menu, there's an option for a service member that it's not just a prescribable, if you have this, then you go here, but just to be a little bit more selective that everybody who leaves service isn't going to have, a cookie cutter issue or a cookie cutter problem, and this is where you go to get that. And I think that continues to grow more and more, both through our programs that exist from the government, but then also in the nonprofit sector. As veterans, I think, get out and their families get out of service, I think they see those gaps and then they want to give back, and the first people they turn to is those who are transitioning. So I think just continuing that momentum that's, there's always growth that happens during war, whether it's technology, but I think the aftermath of, the global war on terror is we've gotten a lot better at handling emotional health and mental health. And as long as we continue to recognize those needs coming out of service, I think we'll be in a good place. And I think we've grown a lot as a nation there, and we're there. I think there's a lot of people that know that now, and it's been a positive.
Well, you're such a great role model for veterans and the veterans community. How do you, just a final thought, what's the best part of being a coach here at West Point, working with the cadets, advancing their understanding of what it will be to be an officer and, the game days here at Mikey Stadium? What's it like for you?
I think the most encouraging thing is day in, day out, they want to improve, they want to develop, they want to learn, they want to know more, and knowing a little bit on what they're getting themselves into and kind of giving them tools, not just, hey, this is exactly what you do, but you give them answers for specific issues they might have, and just that they're adaptable, they're agile, and their environment's going to be more complex than the environment, veterans experience the last 10 years or 20 years or, Vietnam or World War II or the Korean War or you name it. So it's encouraging to have those guys, those future leaders, those sons of America here in an environment that they understand the value of their education, and they know when they leave here, they're expected to deliver. And then just the game day experiences, just no matter how many games you're part of as a coach or as a player, it's a special place because we know that these guys are more than just football players, and we're celebrating more than just a school. It's a set of values. It's a way of life. It's a commitment to something bigger than themselves, and you kind of see the glimmers of that in and out every game and in different times. So really, just inspiring, I guess, is the best word to say it.
Absolutely. Well, Mike Viti, you are a tremendous role model, representative of veterans, of officers of the United States Army, and so happy that you're going to receive this award from the Football Writers Association, Lockheed Martin, and we'll look forward to that event. I understand it's going to be in January, and but really, congratulations and thank you for what you do on behalf of everybody at the American Legion.
Much appreciated. Thanks for all your support.
Mike, always good to see you and chat. This is Ken Kreitzer for Sons of American Legion Radio at the United States Military Academy.